Hey, give yourself a pat on the back. You've made it this far. You've gone through about 12 hours of me just yapping away here, lickety-split, just throwing things like a waterfall at you. Hopefully you've gotten some good information and been able to understand how this whole Amazon game, how this whole Amazon business works, and giving you some inspiration to go out there and do this and change your life and change your family's life and your future. This is a great business to be in. It is difficult. It is constantly changing, but like I said at the beginning, I don't think there's anything better than selling on e-commerce because of the freedom it gives you. That's why this is called the freedom ticket. You can be independent of a location. You can do this from anywhere in the world. You can do it while you travel, while you're on a cruise. As long as you got an internet connection, you're basically good. And so it's incredible what you can do in this business if you do it right. Don't be one of those 95% that fails. Follow what we told you in this. Take this to heart. Make sure you go into the other modules here where I've brought in. I've chosen these along with Bradley here at Helium 10. These people that are actually, we vouch for them. They're coming in. These are the smartest people. We know a lot of people in the space, thousands and thousands of people. I've heard thousands of people speak on events that I do, on Helium 10 events and events that I've been to. I know who knows their stuff and who doesn't know their stuff, who can teach it. And that's who we brought here in the Freedom Ticket. That's why this course was voted the best course in for selling on Amazon. But it's not the only course. There's other systems out there. There's other people that have good things that you should actually maybe partake in as well. This is what we teach you here is one way. It's a very good way. Probably nobody gives you the fundamentals or the foundation as well as we do. Everybody else just starts going into the sexy stuff, which is cool and exciting. It's like, here's how you find a product. Here's how much money you can make. All right, get excited. Launch this, and you're going to quit your job next month. That's what a lot of people do in their training. And some of the techniques they show you are valid, but they leave out all the other boring stuff, all the other critical stuff that we've talked about for the last 12 hours in this Freedom Ticket. And that's why it's important for you to have this foundation. And that's why I do this. People always say, Kevin, why do you do this? If you're selling, you're successful, you're making money doing this. Why are you doing this course? Is it just a money grab? No, it's not. We don't charge for this. It's free. You get this totally free for being a Helium 10 member. You're paying for a subscription for a tool, a software tool that actually helps you in your business, helps you make money. As a result, you get this free training. I just want to make sure that you have the best chance. Everybody needs a little helping hand. Everybody needs a little push. And that's my goal, is to help you in whatever way I can to give back. Other people have helped me along the way. I want to give back. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, including some people that are considered experts in the space, either with their newsletters or with their platform or with their training programs, that just are basically full of it. And so it irritates me. It irritates other people in the business when these people are taking a gospel for what they say, and they're just flat wrong. And so that's why I want to come in and actually share you. I've been doing this I've been doing Amazon since 2001, selling FBA since 2015. So, it's 10 years basically on selling FBA. I've been in direct marketing since I was in diapers, basically. I mean, I've been doing this a long time. I'm an old guy. So I've been around and I know a few things, and it's not just the Amazon world I know. A lot of people might just know the Amazon world. I know the general marketing world, the DC world, the direct marketing world, the infomarketing world. I come from a lot of these spaces, so I try to bring a lot of that knowledge here to help you have the best chance of success and not just be single-minded. But going out there and learning from some other people, find someone that you identify with, that resonates with you. You can, if you have credibility issues about them, you can post in the forums of Helium 10. Or the Facebook groups of Helium 10 and ask, hey, anybody ever done so-and-so's course, or anybody ever listened to this guy, or who are the best 5 people I should follow? And you'll get some varying opinions, but you'll get a lot of people that will tell you, and you'll see a pattern. These are the ones you should follow. One of the best things you can do to stay up to date on everything is check back here with the Freedom Ticket, because we're constantly updating this. Not only do we do monthly webinars with new guests, where I'll be hosting it, and Bradley will sometimes be on there. And we'll be hosting monthly webinars with the newest, latest, greatest, like step-by-step tactical things, not just general theory of things that are working right now that you should be doing. But we'll be updating this course too. So some of these modules will change out as something changes. We keep this course up to date. it doesn't become stale. You know, a lot of YouTube videos, people will post something on YouTube and it's still there 5 years later, and a new Amazon seller finds it and thinks, oh, this is the way it works, and it's totally outdated, totally not the way to do it. So we'll keep the Freedom Ticket up to date. So make sure you check back, look for announcements about new features or new bonus sections that have been added. You know, with previous versions, it started out with just a Freedom Ticket. Then they added an entire training on PPC, like a whole multi-week training on PPC. And then we had the Exit ticket added, which is all about, that's a whole complete training on just how to exit your business. Those are still there, and they're great. So if you want to go in depth and heavy detail on specific things, there's additional training, and there'll be more of that coming as well. Another way to level up your game once you've mastered these basics, I'm not saying you should go right out and do this right now, but you're going to want to think about doing this fairly soon, is joining Helium 10 Elite. To have Helium 10 Elite, you know you have access to the Freedom Ticket here at any level of Freedom Ticket, but to have Helium 10 Elite, you need to be a Diamond member, which is the next another higher level and then add another $99 a month to that, and you get Helium 10 Elite. And Helium 10 Elite will take you to the next level. Every single month, I host a webinar, about a 2.5-hour webinar. I bring on a couple guests that are talking about next level, high level things. I do what's called 7 ninja hacks. So 7 like really quick, cool, actionable stuff. Like do this, make this kind of money. Do this, here's a cool tool for this. Here's a cool technique for this. Or do you know this about, these are 27 words in marketing that you should use to actually double your income. You know, things like that. I share that every month. Plus, probably one of the best things of this is every single week we have a live Zoom town hall meeting where either I come on myself once a month, so you can have direct access to me and ask me directly questions directly. Bradley, Shivali, Carrie, other members of the Helium 10 team come on there. It's every single week, and we'll have a big group of people, and it's just open forum. There's no preset agenda. It's like whatever's on people's minds. It could be the latest thing that Amazon just did, and everybody's talking about, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. How are you dealing with this? Or it could be someone has an issue. That Amazon lost my shipment. It's been 3 weeks, and I've been going round and round. Anybody have any ideas on solutions? Someone, oh yeah, this happened to me a year ago. This is what you should do. This is what worked for me. It's really, really good. And you're interacting with other people, other sellers, and you even if you just want to be a fly on the wall, you'll learn so much. Plus, there's in-person trainings 4 times a year, quarterly meetups for Helium 10 Elite members, sometimes in Irvine, California, where Helium 10 is based, sometimes in Europe, sometimes in New York and Las Vegas. But you get to come to those for free, and they're full-day events, or full-day events with speakers and interact, and lunch is usually included. And those are great things. Plus, there's special forums for the Helium 10 Elite members where you can be just with the other higher level experienced sellers, and you don't have to see all the same basic questions asked all the time that you might see in some of the other groups. So there's a lot of advantages to Helium 10 Elite. So check out the Helium 10 Elite. It's Helium 10. It's helium10.com/elite if you want to check that out. And it's a really good program. I highly recommend it. Another thing you want to do is keep up with the Helium 10 podcast. There's 2 of them. One of them is done by Bradley Sutton. It's called Serious Sellers. You can find that at helium10.com/podcasts, or you can find it on Apple or Spotify or your favorite podcast platform. But 3 times a week, there's a new podcast come out. One of them is like the weekly buzz. It's the latest hot news. One of them is Bradley interviewing a seller or someone interesting in the space with some valuable tips. He's always got the little tip at the end. It was like a little quick actionable tip. And then sometimes Carrie or Shivali or someone else from the Helium 10 team will come on and do a podcast about selling on Walmart or about building your listings or something else. It's really, really good. It's one of the top-rated podcasts and most downloaded podcasts in the space. So check that out. Also, check out my podcast, the one I'm doing. It's the one that the founder of Helium 10 originally started, Manny Coates, back before there was a Helium 10. When he was just a seller, he started a podcast called the AM PM podcast. And it was just documenting his sales process. And I think I probably started listening to it in late 2015, or maybe...
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ Helium 10, từ cho dầu Scout, Logistics và Warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
Yeah, late 2014 actually, I think. Maybe, and I picked it up on like the 7th episode. And he did this podcast and documented his whole journey of selling on Amazon, then the evolution into Helium-10, and then he got so busy, he couldn't do the podcast anymore. Somebody else took it over for a little while and did it. And then in 2022, summer of 2022, I took it over. And so for the last several years, I've been doing the AM PM podcast, and every Thursday, a brand new brand new edition comes out. And I think you'll get some good value. It's a lot of people really love it. So check out the AM PM podcast. There's also a few other good podcasts out in the space that you can check out. So just go onto your favorite podcast tool and type in Amazon FBA or e-commerce, and you'll see a list of different ones. For non-Amazon podcasts, I like My First Million. It's a really good entrepreneur podcast of guys just talking that have sold their businesses and they're good personalities, and it's a really good podcast. But there's tons of them out there. So check out, try to listen to podcasts, when you're working out or when you're driving to the office, even if you do it in 2x speed, or maybe you're taking a plane trip or a holiday trip. Those are great times to catch up on podcasts and to listen to them. There's also newsletters in this space. Amazon has a newsletter. Helium-10 puts out a newsletter that's got some weekly buzz and some latest tips and links in it. But there's also really actionable newsletters out there. Almost every service company or every software company has a newsletter. And to be honest, most of them are pure garbage. You can just hit delete. You don't even need to subscribe to them. They're just trying to sell you something. But there are some newsletters that are true, like magazine style, like actionable newsletters that are totally free. I have one called $1 Billion Sellers. It's at billiondollarsellers.com. And twice a week, I put out a brand new newsletter every Monday and Thursday with the latest news around Amazon, actionable tips, like here's how to scrape people's storefronts to find new product ideas, or here's the latest thing that's working in video advertising on Amazon, or here's some cool thing Jeff Bezos did, the trivia things, different kinds of stuff. There's also one called Rankster that specializes in like TikTok stuff. There's one AI for e-commerce sellers. There's John Durkitz has a really good one. There's several really good newsletters out there, and there's some really bad ones too. But check those out as well. Those can be great tools to keep your pulse on the ground and weed through some of the clutter and the noise in the space. There's Facebook groups, the Helium-10 Facebook group, but Helium-10 also has the new forum. Remember, you can get to that by going to your dashboard and hitting the forum, which is probably better than the Facebook group because it's more contained, and you'll make sure you see everything, because you might not always see everything on a Facebook group. There's WhatsApp groups out there that are good too. Like I have one for my newsletter, Launch with Norm, is another good podcast and newsletter. He has a WhatsApp group that's highly active. I have one for the $1 Billion Sellers that's highly active. Those types of things. There's other groups out there that actually you may benefit as well. So expand. Don't just stay narrow. And one of the best things that you can do though is actually go to a couple of events a year in person. There's tons of virtual events where people do these virtual summits online, and those can be great, and you can have some good speakers from time to time. But the best thing to do is to get out to an in-person event. And some of those could be for the learning, especially if you're new. You can go and listen to a lot of the talks and probably learn a few things. If you're experienced, the talks might not be as beneficial to you. It depends on the event. Some of the talks are excellent. Some of them are a little bit more basic or general theory, but the networking is where it's at. So it's hanging out at lunch, hanging out in the hallways with people, going and doing fun things, going to mixers and parties at night, having dinner with other sellers. That can be just super, super valuable for your business. You get out there with other like-minded people that understand you, that are going through the same things. You make connections with people. So down the road, if you have a problem, like, man, I need someone that can do some really good A+ graphics for me. Instead of having to just go and like trial and error, you can ask somebody that you met that's like, hey, who are you using, or who are your friends using? And you can get really good recommendations and really expand your network that way. And that could be one of the best things for your business. Plus, it'll open your mind to things you haven't thought about. You've been in your little hole. You've been just listening to me or following a YouTube channel or something, and that's what you know. But there's a lot of stuff in this ecosystem, a lot of other things that other people are being exposed to that they can expose you to that can really help you. If you want to know where these events are, there's a good website called AMZ Summits, AMZ, like Amazon, amzsummits.com. Augustus keeps this up to date pretty much with all of the big virtual and in-person summits all over the world. So you can find out what's happening in Asia or Europe or Australia or the US. and he keeps a pretty good list of that. So check that out to see what's happening in your local area. Some of these events are small little meetups. There's meetup groups in different cities as well. For Amazon, you can go to Meetup, the website Meetup, and look up groups. And just try to get out there, and then try to expand your horizon beyond just Amazon. I like to go to ClickFunnels Live, for example. I like to go to other internet marketing that's not just Amazon, but it's e-commerce and internet marketing. I go to AI shows. And by expanding my knowledge of these different genres that all play into the e-commerce, I'm not just micro-focused on Amazon. I have this wider view of this whole e-commerce, and I can apply different things. And that's something I recommend that you do as well. Amazon, the main thing is Amazon, this is a continuous learning process. I've given you the foundation here, a lot of the core concepts, but you're always going to be learning. I'm always learning. I've been doing this a long time, and every day I learn something new I didn't know, or a new technique, or a new thing that's come out, or like, oh, wow, something hits, a light bulb goes off. If I combine this and this and this and this, wow, I can make X of dollars more. So there's always new stuff coming out. It's always new things. Just remember, this is a grind. This is not a passive income. It might have been 10, 15 years ago, some people that got in at the right time where it wasn't so competitive. It wasn't about building brands. It was easier. You could just throw something up and sit back. It is a true business. It is hard work, but it can be extremely rewarding, and it can pay off big time. The one thing I want you to make sure you do is you focus on one course of action until you make that successful. Stay with it. So you join the Freedom Ticket, you've joined Helium 10. You may hear stories about, oh, XYZ software is better than Helium 10, or this other training is better. And don't jump. Finish this Helium 10. If you bounce to this last module and you haven't watched the other 12, or you've been skipping around, go back and watch them all the way through. Watch all the supplemental stuff that's in this core group of things where Destiny's talking about PPC, and Afolabi's talking about this, and Tomer's talking about that, and all the guys from AMZ One Step are talking about this. Make sure you watch all of that, watch the bonus material, and then go out and say, hey, I got it. I know the mastery. Maybe let me see what someone else may be able to add, or maybe has a different perspective on things, and then go there. Don't mix them. Finish one and then go into the other. But when you finish this Helium 10 Freedom Ticket, get out there and launch your damn product. Don't just keep bouncing around from course to course to course going, I don't know if I know enough yet. You know enough. If you just went through this Freedom Ticket, especially if you do the certification that's offered here at the end, you know enough. You're ready. You're ready to do this. You can do this, and you should do this. So don't quit procrastinating. Get off your damn butt and get this thing happening and start making some money and change your life, because this is where you can do it. Don't give up if there's setbacks. If you have something goes wrong, you're going to have a little hurdles that you're going to have to get over. Don't follow these other shiny objects. There's going to be something as you're going through this. Oh, wait, this is the new thing. TikTok shop is a hot new thing. Amazon is dead. Don't do Amazon. No, don't. Just TikTok shop may be a good opportunity, but finish what you started. Get it done. And then once you've mastered that, then consider expanding out to all these other things. Because the goal here is to change your life, is to change your destiny, to change your life, to live a better life, to get the freedom that you want. And that's what the Freedom Ticket is meant for. Once you get to that higher level and you've mastered this, you're welcome to join me in my $1 Billion Seller Summits. These are very high ticket, expensive summits that we do all over the world. We've done them in Puerto Rico, and Austin, and Iceland, and Hawaii. We've done them, and they're expensive to come to, but it's the best of the best. It's the top speakers, the top people that are just crushing it on Amazon. I would love to see you one day at one of these events. And tell me, hey, Kevin, I took your Freedom Ticket course. You gave me the foundation. I did this. I followed what Bradley said. I followed what the people said. And now we're crushing it on Amazon, and I'm here. Nothing would make me more happy than for you to come back and to say that to me. That means all this was time and all this effort that everybody in this entire team here at Helium 10 has put in to deliver this to you was all worthwhile. Just remember this one thing that Jeff Bezos said, and he said a lot of really good things. But this one thing should stick out with you. You can be grinding for 4 years with no results. But then all of a sudden in the 5th year, you can become the biggest thing on the planet. The power of not giving up is real. Don't give up. Stick with this. Best of luck to you. Here's to your success. We'll talk to you soon.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon, Skybox cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, tuần theo Liên, tuần chơi Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.